Thanks a lot, Donnie and Bob. This is Frankie Abbruzzino with the uncensoredreport.com with your scoop news. And let's go ahead and start off with the big news of today. I just got back from voting, and the polls were open at 7. They're open until 7 p.m. You'll start seeing results filter in around 7 p.m. when they start adding in the absentee and the late voting, and then you'll start seeing more filter in. And locally, we generally will know who has won by 8, 9 o'clock, somewhere in that timeline. You could just go to SarasotaVotes.com, or I put on all my scoop pages the actual link that you can go to and just refresh it and get up-to-date voting and what's happening. And it breaks it down, too, for you. So it's a pretty nice thing out there. So get out there. If you haven't voted yet, I know 6 million voters from Florida cast their ballots either early or through absentee balloting. FDOT. What is this? WWSB, they're reporting that the major part of that $74 million project, the Diverging Diamond project, I thought it actually went up more, but that's done. So they're going to start beginning work on Wednesday night shifts, or this Wednesday, on the southbound traffic on I-75 and construction that new bridge portion of the 4-lane highway there. So interesting stuff happening there. The closures will happen at 11 at night, and they'll work until 6 in the morning. So I know it's a major traffic issue now, a lot of accidents there now, but this will not add to it, at least, unless you're driving at 11 at night. Maybe a little late to know this now, but Sarasota Manatee buses are free today, and they're encouraging people to get out and vote, so they're offering the fixed routes on all these different routes out there. Free rides for individuals to get out there and cast your vote. Northport man, he was injured in a hit and run, according to the Herald Tribune. Basically suffered some serious injuries on Monday. They were struck at walking through a walkway through. Henry Honorato, 68 of Northport, and Jamie, 48 of Port Charlotte. Basically, they're walking this crosswalk, and somebody didn't stop, and they ran right into him. Just Henry was injured severely. The individual took off. He failed to stop. The color of the car is a silver vehicle. Was last seen traveling south on 41, and the left mirror side is probably cracked or missing because it was left on the highway. If you have any information, contact Florida Highway Patrol. Raises. We talked yesterday during the news segment about the Sarasota Police Department. 3 years they've been trying to negotiate raise increases similar to how Venice was going. They had a very tense hearing, I guess, yesterday at the Sarasota City Council, but the police officers came together and they decided to pass a retroactive raise with a new collective bargaining agreement. And the raises will include a 3% increase to sworn and non-sworn personnel, and it will impact their pay from 2014 and 2015. This will be the first time since 2008 that officers have received raises, and they gave great praise to the 150 men and women that are serving Sarasota, our finest in blue. This next story comes to us about the art festival. The Chalk Festival is this weekend in Venice. It's a huge event. It's Friday through Sunday. They're changing it around a little bit. It's not going to be spread throughout the city. It's only going to be at the airport grounds. And they're changing it so it's going to be more three-dimensional art pieces. There's going to be about 200 artists that are participating in there. About 140 of them will be flying in. They've had to make several adjustments due to the economics of it all. I talked with someone briefly, and I might go out there and do a live shot on Friday afternoon when they open. I'm waiting for the individual to get back to me so that I can show you a little bit of what it's all about, and we can cover some of the changes that are taking place there. I know one other hit was they got $10,000 from the city of Venice last year. Well, combined, some combined grants. $5,000 this year, and some of the council members said, well, there may not be anything going into next year. It is a $10 admission for adults, $5 for students, and kids that are under 12 get in for free. All right, Laurel, this was interesting. The city council, I was watching the Venice City Council meeting. Northport has theirs going on today, and also the county has theirs down here in South Venice, and they covered the second hearing of the rezoning request for Laurel Road. The former mayor, Dr. Ed Martin, came in there. He wanted a delay, and he wanted the city to consider mandating that, hey, you put a certain segment of affordable housing into each complex and say, okay, out of 100 apartments, maybe 2 will be affordable. Obviously, Jeff Boone was against that. Then, they went around, everybody spoke, and basically Councilman Daniels got up and Anderson was trying to ask a question. He's like, "Hey, you need to shut up. I have the floor now." I was pretty much amazed at how he treated his fellow council member. Then Dr. Ed Martin, the former mayor of Venice, was sitting in the front row, and he started attacking the former mayor. So the former mayor said, "Hey, look, wait, what's going on here? Can I have a rebuttal?" And Mayor Hollick basically said, "No, we already did a public hearing. You need to shut up." Told him that 3 times, and then had the police escort a fine citizen of Venice out. It did pass 6-1. Remember that when you're voting today, because I'm on the ballot, and I'm the guy that's going for controlled sustainable growth against the guy that's got an aggressive interpretation, and the guy that voted for this rezoning today, Mayor Hollick. VFD. There's another issue, the moratorium. They went ahead and had the second reading on the moratorium. If the medical marijuana passes, they don't want it sold, dispersed, have anything to do with it in the city of Venice. All of the council members passed it. I'm not a fan of that. I'm a huge advocate, as any libertarian would be, for medical marijuana, and I'm not for this moratorium. So a sad day for Venice that we took that direction and followed some of the other local cities. City of Venice, VFD, is falling apart. This was an email Councilman Fred Fraves wrote. Station 3, he noticed cracks in the building. He noticed Station 1 that there's exterior problems. He said there's a small building in back of one that has doors just hanging there and rotting off the frames, and that it's falling apart. And so I put the question out there. Should we be paying for a trolley or fixing up our fire department? The trolley, when he was on your station, guys, Mayor Hollick said the trolley was going to be for 3 to 4 months at $72,000 to $75,000 every 6 weeks. That's a big amount of money. Now he's changed it and said, "Oh no, it's only 6 weeks." So I don't know what it really will be there for. And remember, it's defeating its purpose. It's not helping with parking. Even the mayor admitted that. So why we're moving forward with that instead of repairing stuff like these fire departments is beyond me. It's an atrocity. All right, and Northport Fire Department, they were on the scene of a crash again on I-75 mile marker 184. They had an extrication. One patient was transported to Sarasota Memorial Hospital. Always issues out there. They are doing River Road. They're repaving it starting, I believe, on the 13th or 14th. It's going to be at 5 at night till 7 in the morning, I believe. That's going to even cause even more headaches because a lot of people travel that now. And lastly, this is it, where the former mayor was moved out. Harold picked up that story, and there's nothing else out there. So, again, you guys got till 7 o'clock. Get out there and vote, especially if you're in the city of Venice and you're a fan of me. Outside of that, I am throwing it back to Donnie and Bob. I'm sure they want to talk about Trump, the deplorables, and Hillary. Okay, back to you guys. Thanks a lot.